Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling, and should we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today? And well, anyone seen the Genshin Impact the next patch announcement? Like, I know I'm not a Genshin Impact channel or anything like that. Like, I don't really talk about Genshin Impact, but ooh, okay, it's a strange one. Well, it's going to be a strange one. I suppose I'm more talking about it because it's something which it was like, oh, you know, I was looking forward to this patch. I'm like, Dea, and how they decided to actually pronounce her name in the end. It was like, oh, I was really excited for this character. You know, she's my favourite character from Sumeria, and here we are. Don't turn away now. We are the warriors who rule this town. But anyway, hello there, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow at 6:05 PM on Friday, February 17, 2023. You know, another thing I was thinking of. Completely unrelated to that Genshin Impact situation, which I'm not going to really talk about anymore, to be honest, because you're not interested in that, probably. I mean, I can't imagine the overlap between Animal Crossing and Genshin Impact plays. It's about high, but still. The other thing I was thinking about was like, why don't I start all my videos with being like, hello dearlings, or hello darlings, or hello dear, or anything like that. And when I thought about it more, and I was like, I guess it's because I don't really say dear and darlings all that much in real life. Like, I say it sometimes, so I'll be honest, but, I mean, when I thought about it more, and I was like, I guess I don't say it all that much is because it kind of sounds a bit patronising, I suppose, if I do it. You know, not normally when you picture someone saying like dearie or darling, when you know, it's someone who's either very like upper class or it's like someone who is considerably older, I suppose, like a grandma or grandpa or something. You know, hearing it come from like a young adult like me, who probably sounds a bit weird, I suppose. Well, not necessarily weird. It's just more like, you know, if no one else, you know, humans are by way of their nature social creatures, so, you know, you end up mirroring not exactly what other people are doing, and, you know, some sense of conformity, I suppose. Not to say that I'm particularly well known for my conformity, I suppose, and I kind of, you know, do my own thing most of the time. But, you know, I've never really thought about the fact that I never actually say dear or darling most of the time. I guess it's perhaps a bit too intimate for most people. And I'm like, I don't really want to, you know, instill that on people. I'll just call them hello. I'll call them hello, but it doesn't make sense. I'll just say hello. You know what I mean? Maybe I should start. Maybe I'll just start saying like, hello dears, hello darlings. I mean, I think it sounds cute, you know. And I guess it feels, you know, not necessarily less strange, but, you know, when I'm talking basically to avoid like this, you know, it's pretty hard to imagine whoever's on like receiving end or listening to what I'm saying, because, you know, that could be literally anyone. I don't know who you are. I don't know basically anything about you. And even if you are someone who's a frequent commenter, and you said, you know, I've seen your like username here and there, and you said stuff, I still don't really know who you are. I'm going to be honest, unless I know you in real life. So, you know, it's sort of like I don't know. It's I guess saying things to like anonymous strangers and saying things as an anonymous stranger feels a lot more liberating, which is, I guess, why people use it as such an excuse to be pretty terrible people, which is, you know, not really the justification I was ending up going for, but still, I don't know, maybe liberating in a sense is perhaps the right word. So maybe I will start saying that, dears and darlings, just like throwing it out there randomly. I don't know, it's not really in my lexicon, I suppose, all that much. I mean, it sometimes is, but it's not like I don't know. It's not my most like, I don't even know how I genuinely refer to people. I don't go like buddy, friend, pal. I guess I go friend sometimes. I guess I just say people's names, to be perfectly honest. That's probably why, you know. If you're my friend in real life and I speak to you, I'll just say your name. You know, like Alice, Bob, Charlie. Well, wait, what are the usual names for like A, B, C, D, E, F? I'm not sure. It's definitely always Alice and Bob, from what I'm trying to think about for my maths lessons or whatever. I think it's Charlie for C, but I'm not sure. I don't know what D is. I think it's like Diana or something. Often the times they just use like really random things. Oh, do you remember back? I don't know if this is very like a British school thing or like the exam board I did, but back in primary, or maybe not exam board because I was in primary school, but back in primary school we used to do like these maths exams or whatever, or science exams, and they always introduced the characters who were in the examinations at the front. So you'd always be like, oh, look, here's like a random, like, it's not even like a photo of an actual girl or something. It's like they took a photo of like a girl and then like traced over with like outline. You know, like how you used to go into those and I have never seen one since, but you used to be able to go into like these photo booths, which instead of taking your photo, quote, they just got like they like sketched out your photo using a pencil. And of course, by sketched out your photo, rather than a computer actually sketching you, it's more like they took a photo of you and put like a sketchy like pencil layer over top of it, and then put like some cool animation of a hand and a pencil like drawing it out and all that sort of thing. Yeah, they basically did that, but instead of with a pencil, imagine like a fine liner pen or something, and it would be like And then it would just be like, it's just like a character introduction page. It's so random. It's like, choose your fighter for this maths exam. And it's like, Mary. And then it's like, Ahmed. And then it's like, I don't know, some random other person. Like, Dina or whatever. It's just like, it's so random. Because, like, they only mention it. It's like, I guess it's, I don't know, maybe it's more friendly for kids or whatever to have, like, a sense of not personalization, but personability, I suppose. Between the examinations, so it puts people at ease, but it always felt so randomly, like, ham-fisted in there. Like, you know, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, necessarily. I guess it's kind of cool, if anything, but it just always felt so random. Like, in an amusing way, not in a bad way, is perhaps what I'm trying to say. Just being like, oh, you know, these are the people who are going to be your best buddies throughout this maths examination or this science examination. And then, like, they're barely, like, even pictured or mentioned at all. Like, you only ever see, like, diagrams or, like, apparatus or whatever. I don't know. It's just, like, you know, I guess it's kind of cool, actually, you know. I don't have a particularly common name, so my name was never one of the names, but perhaps if your name, like, appeared in there, you'd be like, whoa, it's me. It's like, I'm doing the experiment in this examination. Anyway, I don't really know where I'm going with, well, literally any of this conversation, to be honest. But yeah, no, dears and darlings, darling dears, and all that. Maybe I should start saying it more in my lexicon, you know, just change my lexicon, change my vocabulary to encapsulate something. I mean, people do it all the time, and I'm sure you've done it as well, where you've, like, picked up phrases from friends, or, you know, you've instilled your own phrases in my friends. Like, I remember back in, like, year 7 or year 8, I always used to go, snap, all the time. And that was something which other people started picking up on. Or one of my friends always goes turd instead of, like, swearing or whatever, or calls people a turd, which is amusing, I suppose. That one never really caught on with me, except for a lesson sort of doing it in a sarcastic way, I suppose, towards him. I'm trying to think, what do I say, which I probably instilled on my friends through, like, I was going to say verbal osmosis, which really makes no sense. I seem to love using the word osmosis for any time there's any sort of, like, transfer of something, despite the fact it really doesn't make any sense, because of course you need osmosis. Is like, it's specifically relating to water, and it has to be through, like, a semi-permeable membrane or whatever, which doesn't, you know, translate well to many sort of metaphors in real life, I think. But, you know, people always go osmosis instead of diffusion, you know, like, I don't know, maybe this is a specific joke I always say about, like, learning through osmosis or whatever, is where instead of actually studying something, you just, like, put your head near something and you pretend to learn through that way. Or I'm just insane, I just made it up, but I don't know. But what was I going to say? Oh, you know what also was the sad thing? This is completely, again, irrelevant to everything, was the fact that I was going to go buy a keyboard, like, a couple of days ago. Like, I know what keyboard I want. I want the Ducky 1 silent red switches or whatever, and I'm going to get it in white just because my computer's in white. I feel like it matches, despite the fact that all my computer monitors are black. I haven't actually seen a white computer monitor before, which is not an iMac, but still, you know, slow transition from, like, I guess not a slow transition, but, like, for black and white, and I just think the white keyboard looks a bit better, I suppose. It's brighter, it's more fun in that regard. Anyway, because it was something I saw ages ago, and I was like, oh, it's, like, all in stock, you know, it'll be fine. And then I tried to buy it, like, a couple of days ago, be like, oh yeah, now's probably the time, and it's like, it's out of stock. I can't get it anymore. None of the retailers have it, and I'm like, no, it was here on Amazon not too long ago. Yeah, you know, it's bad if even Amazon doesn't have it, but still. Yeah, I know that's kind of, like, highly unrelated to anything. I'm trying to think what I said, which is probably, like, rubbed off on people. I mean, most recent times, you know, of course, year 7, I had that oh snap thing. Now I like to go, oh no, which of course everyone knows is from Bluey, Bandit Healer. One of the greatest characters, or one of the greatest dads in existence, apparently. That's something I've been saying recently, but I don't think it's really caught on all that much, to be honest. It's just kind of fun to say. I don't really know what I've said. It's a bit hard, I suppose, when it's coming from your own mind, because I suppose it's a lot easier to think of, like, oh, what have you personally taken from, like, one of your friends, like, way of speaking, you know? That's probably a little bit easier to pinpoint down, but even then I'm not really sure. And, you know, I feel like it was probably a lot more common from when I was more of a teenage to, you know, from when I was, like, preteen. I was like to teenage ages, I suppose, then, because that's when you're probably at the highest rate of being like, I'm trying to fit in with my peers, etc., etc. And nowadays, and, you know, people start to move to a beat of their own drum. But it's still nice if their drum, like, sort of shares, like, a divisible or multiplicative time signature with each other. But even then, who knows, syncopation can be a bit fun. So now more or less, so now more or less, apparently speaking incorrectly is one of the things I do. So now more or less, I feel like I'm basically speaking as I intend to. I don't really know if that's for certain. I'm sure there's probably something I've picked up from some of my friends. Or whatever. You know, I mean, that's just like how slang works in general. You know, I think one of them being like, true. That one I say sometimes. I'm trying to think of what other slang. Like, I don't often pick up slang. Not because I don't like slang necessarily. It's just like, I don't know. I guess it doesn't fit the image I'm trying to portray with the lexicon I use or anything like that. I mean, I use lit sometimes. Not that much, I'm going to be honest. I suppose lit's a bit outdated now. I don't use like on guard or no cap or anything like that. I do like for real though. But I used to kind of say for real before, but not like in a for real sort of way. I just like a for realsies. So I guess that's not really, you know, adopting with slang if you don't actually have to change much in the way you speak to incorporate it in the first place. But still, what else is even popular slang right now? It's a bit hard to say, you know, because I'm probably no longer at the age when I'm really like up with or down, I suppose, with a slang. You know, I'm not in any direction of a slang right now. It's always just passing me by, which is fine, you know. And eventually, that's just how life works, to be honest. And, you know, it's going to be fantastic when I'm much older and, you know, and then I can start saying slang wrong and then people will be like, ah. Just like how I felt when I was younger. Although I never felt that when I was younger, to be perfectly honest. I'm just saying, like, all slang should be relevant all the time. As soon as it becomes a word, people use it all the time, you know. Groovy, funky, fantastic slangs. They should come back. You know? Basically, I'm just saying slang should never fall out of favour. All slang should be applicable all the time. That's right. I want to talk like a 1920s mobster or something. I mean, this is where I do an impression of one if I could do one, but I can't actually think of like what they'd say. So, you know, I guess my improv skills are not particularly there at the moment, or never will be. You know, if I don't really like try to make them better, I suppose. Yeah, I don't really know. What sort of things have I imparted onto you? But I'm sure my word choice is probably more than anything, rather than like a particular phrase. I mean, like, I guess that's kind of like what phrases are, like word choices, isn't it? Also, you have some very strange collection of like items which you've probably taken from me. I imagine, Lily. I didn't know you took up wanting to play electric guitar. And a lucky gold turtle, I suppose, just sitting underneath there. At some point, I should actually probably customise your houses to actually fit what I've envisioned for you lot, but alas, I have not. I mean, Lily's got like one of the closest to an actual house now I think about it. She's got like a bathroom, a kitchen, like a bedroom, like a working desk. It's pretty impressive. Most other people just seem to have like a bed. Or in Biscuit's case, he just has like a backyard. Which, you know, a backyard beach. Nothing's out of reach, we got a backyard beach. I'm not really sure. I mean, I do like to do the thing where like sort of just like quote random like not phrases necessarily, but like, you know, lines from like video games and stuff quite a lot. It's just a bit of fun, to be perfectly honest. But normally I only do that if like I actually think of one in the first place. It's not like, I don't think I'd particularly naturally do that with my speech. I had to like think of a word where I'd be like everybody, and I'd be like everybody get in here. You know, something like that. That's evolved naturally throughout the conversation, you know. It's sort of like a autocorrect, like an autofill. That's a phrase. Where like you start typing a word or whatever, and if you pause on that word too long, then it just gets filled in with a random, like, I don't know, half-stone quote or any quote, to be perfectly honest. Not all the time, though. Not all the time. You know, I've still got enough individuality to express myself through my own means. And I'm not to say that if you are someone who quotes other things a lot, but you have no sense of individuality. I don't think that's not really what I was trying to insinuate, to be perfectly honest. I'm sort of just trying to, you know, use whatever words I can. And sometimes the words I say don't get thought about enough. But, you know, they don't get put through, I was going to say put through grinder. That's not really what I meant. They don't get put through the working process enough for me to actually decide if that's particularly representative of what I want to say or not. Which is, you know, it's got good sides and downsides. Good sides, I can, you know, keep the conversation going, I suppose, just like this. Downsides, sometimes I'll just say the wrong things. Apparently everyone's just sort of like vibing out here. You mind if I sit with you? Oh, that's not a button I meant sit down. There you go. Sit by the campfire with you two. I don't know. It is a bit hard to think about, like, what... But maybe it should be something which I ask my friends about, I suppose, if anything. I mean, it's still something you could probably answer as a viewer, but I think probably the level of interaction's a lot lower. If there's anything I tend to like have as like common patterns throughout my videos with my speech patterns or whatnot, which either you picked up on or you've literally started, picked up on as in noticed and picked up on as in started using for yourself. Never really thought about how you can use that both ways, huh? I don't know, you know. I think I've said this before, like ages ago. I think it'd be really interesting for like someone who's like a professional linguist, like researcher or something, just like took in all the data from like all the videos I've made of myself speaking and like did an analysis, being like, this is how Dear Darling speaks. She, you know, uses whatever. She uses like these sounds or whatever, you know. Unfortunately, I'm not a professional linguist. Or I do know someone who studied linguistics at the very least, so maybe I can ask him. But I don't think that'd probably be, you know, fair for him to be like, hey, you know, do some research analysis on me right now. And it seems a little bit vain, doesn't it? But yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not like a professional linguist, so the most I can give you is basically my accent is somewhere between estuary and received pronunciation. And also probably, I'm sure, like small mixes of other things here and there. But yeah, I don't really know. I probably use, but yeah, and I don't really know quite a lot. But these are like filler words, you know, filler phrases, I suppose. So it sort of feels like cheating to count filler phrases rather than something which actually feels intertwined with my natural way of speaking, you know? You get what I'm saying? Like, for something which fills up the emptiness, doesn't feel like it's representative of, like, my style of speaking, per se, you know? Although, I will admit, I definitely use, you know, quite a lot. It's really hard to think. It's hard to, one, simultaneously think and also speak about what you're thinking and thinking about what you're speaking at the same time, but they're both different things, I suppose. To try and come up with an idea of like something I say which other people pick up on in either sense of a phrase. I feel like I do make a lot of random noises. I do say that quite a lot. I make like squeaks and squeals or whatever. I incorporate that into my speech now. Not too much today. I guess I feel a lot more low-key today. I don't really know. Which might be a good time to actually record some of... And I do need to record more videos. Like, hold on. How's my backlog going? Have we... Did I just... I might just close... No, I just never had Chrome open. Okay. Didn't know about that. Let me see about how far has the backlog gone. Apparently I have 415 subscribers now. That's a very random uptake of like 10 subscribers or something in the... Very recently. I'm pretty sure I looked at this and I had 405 at some point, but oh well. I probably genuinely am not paying enough attention. Let's see, Cosmic Express, March 10th. Okay, so that's halfway through my holiday. One after Cuphead series. I haven't actually done the meta details on that nor the thumbnail art, but that'll be about here. Okay, I need to record a couple more episodes of that. And of course the story-based plot is well in advance. I haven't started recording any of the Animal Crossing ones yet, but I suppose that can start... I'm not sure if I'll do it today. It's basically as soon as I start finish the other ones. And they'll probably be fast Animal Crossing episodes, and I'm not going to choose like slow ones. So if I start doing that in a recording start, I don't know. You never know with these sort of things, but hopefully I can get that done. Anyway, I'm going to round this episode off here. I'm not sure what I'm going to call this episode. Actually, let's try and think of a title for this first. Let's say, like, stealing phrases. Phrase stealing? Yeah, phrase stealing, something like that. But yeah, I'm going to round this episode off here, so if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, description, shares are greatly appreciated. Twitter, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, darlings. Bye-bye for now. Dearie? I don't know. No, now it just feels forced, doesn't it?